Hello everyone, welcome to Zoho Creator Tech Connect series. So my name is Preeti Venkatesh. I'm going to be the trainer of today's session. So this Tech Connect series is a month-on-month session which is held at second Thursday of every month. So usually in this series we discuss about all the technical concepts involved in Zoho Creator to make your application more flexible. So in that this month we are going to talk about the new feature involved in Zoho Creator, that is Canvas Layout Designer. So this Canvas Layout Designer is basically built to make your reports layout view in a very customized way to fulfill your business requirements. So now let's talk about this Canvas Layout Designer in detail in this session. So before I start the session, let me give some housekeeping rules. All the attendees in the session will be on mute, and please post your questions in the question tab, which is at the left top corner of your screen. And a recording of the session will be sent to all the registrants, and please participate in the polls and the surveys that are going to be conducted during and after the session. So now let's move on into the session. So I just brought an agenda with which I'll be driving you people throughout the session. So here first we will be discussing about Canvas Layout Designer and how to use them in the Zoho Creator, and then we'll discuss about a small use case scenario on top of which I'm going to showcase you people how to use this Canvas Layout Designer, and we will see the live demonstration of the same. At last, we will discuss about other application scenarios for which we have built the Canvas on, and we'll be displaying that. And at last, we will discuss some key pointers involved to be remembered before using this Canvas Layout Designer in your application. So this is going to be the structure with which I'm going to drive you people throughout this session. Now let's move on. So Canvas Layout Designer. So usually layout designer is nothing but an structural arrangement of visual elements like an header, a text, or a picture that you have in your form to be displayed in a very structural manner. That is usually a layout, right? So layout builder will help us to customize the layouts that we wanted to be on your report. So in Zoho Creator, using this layout, we can arrange the reports view. So in the Zoho Creator, we have two types of report layouts. One is going to be the quick view layout, which is nothing but a summarized view of all the records you have in your particular form. So this is going to be a summarized view. And then we have something called as detailed view layout. On click of this quick view layout, it opens in a detailed view, like which contains a particular product's details in a very brief way. So these are the two types of layouts which are available in report layout structure of Zoho Creator. Till now, in the detail view layout, we have something called as predefined layout, which contains two types of layouts. One is the summary or the block. This is nothing but a tabular structure of the brief details that you have in your report. In the summary, we can get to see the tabular structure of the data, and in the block we can add the related block or the combined report you wanted to get visualized in a particular report view. So these are the two predefined layout which was available till now. Now, as a new feature, we have introduced the custom layout. You can build your own customized layout according to your business requirements with the help of Canvas Builder or Canvas Layout Designer. So we will be talking about how to use this Canvas Designer in our application in our Zoho Creator in this session. So before I show you how the canvas looks, let's quickly discuss about a small use case scenario that I brought, on top of which we are going to build and we are going to use this Canvas Layout Designer to build the layout. So the use case that I brought is going to be Zilker inventory management. So in the Zilker inventory, obviously in the inventory management, we'll be managing all the product stocks, right? So in order to manage the product stock as an organization, I have to tie up with a few vendors. So these vendors will be providing me with my stock. So once the stock has reached the reorder level, we have to send the notification to the vendors. So once the vendor receives the notification, they will be refilling our stock. This is based a small purchase order kind of thing that happens in in the inventory management part of your application, right? So I just built an application explaining this small part of the inventory management. For this one, we are going to use the Canvas Builder in Zoho Creator. So before I move on to the Canvas Builder, let's quickly see how the use case will be, then we'll move on. So this is the use case I was talking about. Zilka inventory management. In this, I'm going to manage a few modules like the product module, where I'll be getting all my product informations. So here I've just built it to store the furniture informations. And then I have the brand form. So this is nothing but each and every product I'm going to specify a brand. So I have a separate brand form, which has been looked up into the product form. So and again I have the vendor form. So each and every product has its own vendor in my case. So I'll be looking up into the vendor form to get the vendor details to perform the stock purchasing and the refilling of the stocks. Everything will be done from here. And then we have the reorder form, with which we will be sending the notification to the vendors to fill my order. And then again I have the specification form. This is nothing but an existing subform which I have used in the product details, because each and every product has its own feature and its own description, right? So for I'm just using this specification form as an existing subform in my product form. So basically this product form is going to be the main thing that I manage in my inventory. So now let's try to add a product. So I'm just trying to add a product named as Flybird, and then I'll be choosing the category as furniture, and the product code, let me use the product code as 009. And a product image, I'm going to add an sofa image as my product. Then I have an SKU number. Each and every product has its own barcode to be generated, right? So whenever I give the SKU number, automatically the barcode will get generated. So I'm just showcasing you this barcode, how I'm using it at the backend. On the user input of this SKU number, I'm just generating a barcode URL. So this barcode URL is nothing but generates a barcode with the SKU number that I am going to pass at the end. So in the under the workflows, I have written a workflow under the user input of SKU number. I'm going to generate the barcode. So here I'm using a very small line of code, and I'm generating the barcode and storing it inside my barcode field. This is going to be an image field which gets a link as an input. So that is how I'm generating this barcode. And after that I'm giving the unit of measurement and unit price as something around 20,000 for this particular sofa. And date of purchase is going to be today, and warranty is 5 years of warranty. And stock level, let's say I have 10 in my stock, and when the reorder level reaches 5, I have to refill my stock. And even I can add my AR picture. In this I'm adding an AR picture of a chat. So even this we can just add it to our product. And I'm adding an installation PDF, how to install. I mean, if it is an electronic, you can make use of them. And description, since it's a white sofa, I'm going to give the description as. And this is what I was talking about, brand and the vendor. I have a separate form in which I'm going to store my brand and the vendor details. I've just used the lookup concept to look up the brand and my vendor detail from that particular form. And I'm going to add some specifications like color, and let's say like I'm adding the size, random size, not sure about the size, random size. And then if you have any tax percentage or discount percentage, you can just fill them around here. So this is how it will be. Okay, and then I'm clicking on the submit button. A product will get added at the end. So this is going to be the reports quick view. So I can get to see all the products, summary of all the products in a single page. On click of a particular product, I can get to see the detail view. For now, I've used the predefined template, a summary view that showcases the detail view in a tabular structure. So on top of this product form, I mean all products report, we are going to use the canvas layout designer to build a canvas, to build a detailed view. So now let's see how the canvas can be done. So the canvas designer can be used in three ways. One, like you can design your own layout from the scratch, starting from dragging and dropping your field, dragging and dropping your elements, and you can do your own design that fits your business requirements. or we have some predefined templates for particular use cases. For example, in the picture you can get to see a product information, right? Like the product detail template or the hotel room detail template. So there are some predefined templates which are available. You can just make use of that template in order to design your detailed view of your layout, or you can directly import them and make use of that layout. For example, you would have or already designed the layout. You can just use this import option to import your layout, and this import option supports only the JSON format, which you can use as a layout in this canvas designer. Also, after designing this layout, you can just export the layout as a JSON format and make use of the same in any other application you're building, for which you need the detail view layout to be customized. So this is how the canvas designer can be used to build the detail view of your layout. We'll be seeing them in detail now. So in order to create a canvas, you have to first go to your edit mode of your application. I'm just opening the edit mode of my application in a new tab, in which I can get to see on the right top two things. One is going to be the quick view, and next is going to be the detail view. As I said before, quick view is going to be the summary of all the records in a single page, and detail view is going to be the brief view. So for now I've choose this summary layout, or you can choose a block layout. Apart from this predefined layout, we have something called as custom layout. Using this custom layout designer only, we can build our we can use this canvas designer. I'm clicking on the layout. Whenever I click on the layout, I can see the layout designer page, in which there are three options to build your own customized layout. One is going to be from scratch, you can build it, or there are some, as you can see, there are some predefined templates available. You can use this template to build it, or on the top right corner you can get to see an import option. You can click on the import option and download a JSON structured layout, and you can make use of them as an layout in your particular report. So now let's start from the scratch. Later we will see about how the predefined template and the import option works. This is how it will look like. In the scratch, this is going to be the main page, on top of which we can just drag and drop all the elements we needed to make it fit. And we will come to this module later. And next is going to be like, we have the undo and redo option. For example, let's say like I'm dragging and dropping something, I can just undo it or redo it. These two buttons are available on the top, and this button is going to be the export option. After you complete designing your entire page, you can just simply export them as in the JSON format and upload them in any of your application you wanted it. Or you have the full screen view. You can view the layout in a full screen to see whether to make the designing more comfortable. Or you can rename the layout. For example, since I'm designing it for the product, I can rename it like product new, or of your choice. And this is how you rename it. And at last is going to be the save. This design that you're trying to build is not auto saved. You have to save it every time you make use of, whenever you do the changes. When you save it, you can get to see the layout in your detail view. This is the one that we built now. So this is how it will be designed. So now automatically it shows. Now if you go to your report and refresh it, report on the live mode and refresh it, when you click on it, you can get to see the layout that you are designing. So this is how you design a layout from the scratch. We will be designing the complete detail view report using this Canva designer soon. I'm just showing you what are the possibilities. And next is going to be the template. As I said before, there are some predefined templates which are available, right? So you can, before using the template, first you can preview the template. So this template is, when you hover the template, you can get to see an information icon. This will showcases you for what purpose this template has been designed. So you can, this template is particularly designed for viewing the employee profile, and this is for viewing the company profile, and this is for the student profile. So like that, you can hover and see and check what will fit your use case, if you want to make use of them. For me, since I'm showcasing you an inventory management, I think so the product details template will be used. Let me zoom out a bit, just a minute. Yeah. So when you notice that, as soon as I click on the template, automatically the data will get fit in with my form. For example, the description that we are giving, the availability that I have in my form, product information, price, vendor, everything automatically it gets fit with the form details that you have in this particular application. So you can just check it out. And one more thing, this text color, the highlighted colors that are available in the pre-built template, make use of your app's theme color. I'll be showing you what is an app theme color. When I again go to my edit mode of my application, as you all know, we can just design the theme of your application using this icon which is on the top right. So when I click on that, it helps me to change the layout, or the I can choose the customized color options I wanted it to be. For this particular application I'm choosing, I just gave the theme or brand color to be black. That's why whenever I use a template, automatically the theme or the brand color will takes the place of the colors that are given over here. So now I can just simply use this template, and I can edit and do the changes I need in this predefined template. I can save this template, and I can visualize this template in my detail, I mean, in my live mode of my application. I hope it's saved. Yeah. So now you can get to see it. So if you notice that this is taking automatically a picture and the data, right? This is nothing but my my first added record. Automatically, the Canvas Builder takes the first added records detail to help us design our own customized layout. And when you use them in the live mode, automatically it fits in with each and every report data that you have. So this is how you make use of the pre-built templates. At last, we have this import option, right? You can just simply click on the import option, and you can upload any of the JSON files you have in your application, and you can open it and make use of them in your you can just do some editing, and you can make use of them as an layout of your detail view. This is how the scratch and the pre-built and the import option is done. So now let's see in detail about how to build this canvas from scratch. So before that, let me give you a few modules which are available in the Canvas. First module is going to be the data. So data is nothing but the form fields, the custom actions. So everything that is available in the form will be displayed in this data module. Let me show you that before I move on. Yeah. So this is the first module I was talking about. So when I click on the data module, I can get to see few submodules which are available inside it. The first is the form fields. When I try to expand it, I can get to see all the fields that I have in my application, that I have in my particular product form. And this brand and vendor, if you remember it, I have just used the brand and the vendor form as a lookup into my product form. So I can get to see the related forms details as well in this data module. And I can get to see the system fields like the blueprint. If you added a blueprint, the current blueprint stage, added user, modified user, those details will be available in the system fields. You can just drag and drop it on the screen to make use of them. And then we have custom actions. Like I've added two custom actions. I'll be explaining them in detail now. So if you add any report workflows as a custom action button, you can visualize those custom action buttons over here. And then the custom functionalities, like if you want to provide, if allow your stakeholders to give some comments on the particular record, you can just drag and drop this option. They can get to see the comments, obviously. And if you want to do some blueprint transitions, you can drag and drop this blueprint custom functionalities and make use of them in your customized layout. So this is under the custom functionalities. And last is going to be the related block. You have two kinds of related block. One is from related block and to related block. This is nothing but, if you notice my application keenly, in my product form, I've looked up into two different forms. One is brand and another is vendor. So these are going to be my from related block. I'm just fetching the data from that form into this form. So those related blocks will be visualized over here. You can drag and drop them and do some layout changes into that. And two related blocks is nothing but from product. If you're looking up into any other form, those data also will be available as the related block over here. So these are the sub modules which are available in the data module. Okay, this is about the first module I was talking about. And next is going to be the elements module. So elements module is nothing. If you want to categorize each and everything as a section, you can drag and drop in section. Or if you want to make use of the tab structure, you can drag and drop the tab structure. Or a table, if you want to highlight some text, you can make use of the text element. If you want to add an icon, or if you want to segregate each and every section using the line. So these are the elements that you can make use of the make use in this layout to make it more appealing. And at last, the very important thing, that is going to be the styling. Like after adding each and every uh, data or elements, for each and everything there is a styling option which you can perform on the canvas builder itself. This is going to be the styling I was talking about. For now, I don't have any elements here. I have only my page layout. So this is for this page, I can set the background color. So as I said before, my theme color is going to be black, right? I can make use of them as a black. So like that, you can do some changes to it, or you can no fill it, or you can add an image. You can just copy paste an URL and add an image as a background for your particular page, or you can add a gradient color and make use of that as a page color. So these three options comes under the background color. And again, you have padding, and you can customize your own width and the height. So these are the stylings which are available for the page I was showcasing you. So now we will try to build a custom we can try to build the detailed view of a report using this canvas builder. So now let's try to build it. So first, let's start from the section. So for now, let me showcase you. Yeah. So this is going to be the quick view, right? Now let's try to add a section. Okay. So whenever I add an element, when I click on the element, automatically the style section will change according to the element that I'm dragging and dropping. This is saying that this is a section, and you can do some necessary changes, like you can add a background color, border, shadow. You can add a radius, padding. You can specify the width and the height from here. You can either specify the width and the height by changing the numbers, or when you just drag and change it, it will get automatically changed according to the size that you're dragging it. So now let's try to add few things, like I'm just going to add a shadow to it. And yeah. And if you want to add some other thing, you can make use of them. Now I just gave only the shadow. So inside this section, let's try to add few elements of my form field. First element I'm going to add is my product image. So as I said before, whenever you try to create a custom layout, it automatically takes the first data that you have in your record. So I'm just using that first data to do some designing. When I click on the image, according to that, the styling will change for that particular image. I'm just making it contain. If you want to give some border, shadow, radius, let's try to give some radius. And let's try to give some shadow. So according to that, it works. Or you can specify the width and the height. Let's say like I'm going to change the width and the height as 200 and 200 to make it a square. Yeah. And we can drag and drop it to set its position. So this is how it works. And don't forget, whenever you try to do changes, please make sure you save it before you display, before you close it. So I'm just giving the name at product details. Yeah, since I have so many things, I'm making it specific, and I'm clicking on the save button. So whenever you do changes, please save it. Now automatically the detail view layout will take this product detail view as the layout. Now I'm going to the live mode, refreshing my live mode. Whenever I try to choose a particular report, it showcases the layout that we are trying to design now. So this is how it will look. Yeah. So after adding the section, let's try to add some other informations like the product name. So I've just added a form field over here. So if you want to hide, when you just right click on it, you can get to see few things, like you can change the field from here, or you can hide the label of the field. This is going to be the label. This is the value, right? You can hide the label or reposition the label either in the left or top. So those things can be performed. Now I'm just hiding the label. Again, if I right click it, I can get to see something called as fixed component. Fixed components is nothing but when you try to make this component as fixed one, the size will not get changed according to your screen size. Again, when you right click it, I'm sorry. Again, when you right click it, you can get to see an option called as fluid component. This fluid component makes sure that the size of your particular text fits all the screen size it is getting visualized. So this is about the fluid and the fixed component. Also, you have something like copy style or delete it. You can copy the style after doing some changes. You can copy the style and paste it in any other field forms that you're trying to add. Now let's try to change the particular field's size and stuffs. I'm going to the style. I'm changing the size to be 18, and you can do some alignments, other things like background color, border color, radius, padding, and depth. Depth is nothing but so if you want to add this text on top of this image, you can just specify the depth of this particular image. Like for example, now the image is at the background and the text is on the top, right? I can change the view. So for that purpose, we can make use of the depth. So I'm just dragging and dropping it to its original position. Yeah. So this is how I can add the field. Now let's try to add some more fields. Like let me add the product category, and you can also search the fields that you wanted it. Like we can add a product code. And as I said before, we have the related blocks as well, right? For example, the brand is one of the lookup that I have from which I'm fetching the brand name from one form into another form. So from that field as well, you can drag and drop the brand information. So after doing this changes, if you want to do multi-styling, you can also perform multi-styling for all the data that you have added over here. Just by clicking shift and selecting them, you can just align them in a single view. So this is called as multi-styling, which is available in this Canvas Designer. And let me try to add an element and show you how a line can be added. So I'm just adding the line. So if you want to do the changes for the line, automatically the style will get popped up. You can change that as a dotted line, or you can perform this thickness, or you can make it as a vertical line or an horizontal line. Also, you can perform the depth when you are pasting it on top of any image or something. So now we have added an element. At last, let me try to add the unit price. So these are the basic details which is needed for my people to organize it. So that's why I'm designing it in this way. So I've just added the unit price. Also, when you right click on the section, it asks you to either insert a field from here as well, or you can drag and drop it. And then we can make this entire section as a fixed component or a fluid component. You can copy the style. The new one that is available is the log. When you log this particular section, if you do any other changes, this section position will not be getting changed. So that is the purpose of using log. Now let me try to add an icon and show you how icon can be added. When you drag and drop the icon, it just displays few icons that are available. You can choose from them. Since I'm using this icon to display the unit price, let me go with some coin or dollar symbol. I'm just going with the symbol. So you can just drag and drop the symbol to reposition it. To reposition it, and when you click on the particular icon, you can get to change the style of the icon, add a background color, border, shadow. These are going to be very common. So this is how it works. You can also change the icon's color. Now I gave the icon color that takes as the theme color. You can change the color according to your choice. Let me go with the theme color. So now I have added my first section that contains all my important details that needs to be displayed in my layout. Now I'm saving it out. Let's see how it will look in the live mode. So you can get to see the section I have added, the image, the name, category. So according to that, you can do it. So this is how a section can be added. So now let's try to add a tab and see what are the things that you can do as a styling on top of this tab. I'm just adding a tab now. So I'm just repositioning it according to my section size to make it fit my screen. Yeah. So this is how a tab will be added. So now when you click on the particular tab section, the styling will get opened. On the top, you can get to see the state, like in the normal mode, if you want to do some changes in the active mode, or when you hover this particular tab, what should happen. So let me try with the active mode. I'm changing the name of the tab at, like, let's try to add the other product details as first one. Product details. So you can just change the size, or you can make it bold or semi bold. You can change the color in the active mode. For example, let me say that in the active mode I wanted the color to be black. In the normal mode I wanted the color to be in blue. This is going to be the text color. Okay, so when I hover it, I wanted the color to be something around the purple. Okay, so I'm just adding another one. Now we can get to see, uh, first it's going to be in blue. When I just hover it, it's in purple. When I click on it, now the tab is active. Now the text color is going to be um, the theme color, that is black. So this is how you can specify them according to the state of this particular tab. You can change the background color as well, like similarly for a normal active and hover. So for now I'm leaving the background color to be black, sorry, white. You can add an image or a gradient as well, and you can specify the border, radius, padding and margin. Everything can be specified. Also, when you just right click on on top of this particular tab, it allows us to add an icon as well. Let me show you that as well. Yeah, so you can add an icon as well. For example, since it's a product, I'm just adding a product icon, like inventory icon. So like this you can specify them as well. So this is how you specify the tab section on the top, and inside that you can add any other element you wanted it to be. For example, since I'm going to specify all other product details which is left over in that particular section, I'm just going to add a uh, table to it. Let me add a table inside the tab. I'm just trying to, let me delete them and add it again. So I've added a table inside this particular section, right? So you can just resize this according to your choice. Now inside the table, I'm going to add some of my left out product informations, like the purchase date, and then the warranty in years, and then the brand information, vendor information, description, let's say tax percent, and let's say like discount. So these are the things I wanted to be displayed inside this particular table. And again, if you click on this particular row, you can change the styling of that particular row. The text color, let it be theme color, and the background color, let's make it white, or let's make it gray or something, and change it to white. So you can just specify them according to your choice, and you can specify the border color as well. Let me make it black. And now if you select this row, according to that you can change the row information as well. So this is how you do some changes on top of a table. So I've just added a tab. Now let's move on to the next tab. For this tab I'm going to add my stock information, or let's say like my barcode information. Let's say I'm adding the SKU number, and you can similarly you can add the icon as well to it. So if you notice that automatically the every tab takes the color that we gave for the single tab. This is auto save. So now inside this SKU number, I'm trying to add few details like the number, SKU number, and the barcode that we generated using this SKU number. And last is going to be like, let's try to add an custom action. Like on click of that custom action, I need to print this particular barcode. So I have already added a custom action here. You can get to see something called as print barcode. If you want to add a new action, just click on the configure new action. It opens the function. You can type the function, or let me go with just barcode because we already have a function named as print barcode. And similarly, you can just and create the function and try to add a new action and perform any other action you wanted it to be. So now I don't need this. Let me show you how it works. Now I have already added the custom action. On right click of that, let me show you. On right click of that, you can get to change the field, you can add an icon, or you can copy the style, or you can edit the action. So now automatically you can click on the edit mode. So what I'm trying to do over here is, I just wrote an open URL function which just opens my record templates print option. So here what I did is, let me just duplicate this tab and show you how I just created this print barcode thing. So in the open report properties, we have a section called as print and the PDF. This helps us to create the record templates, right? So in this record template, I created a template in which I'm just showcasing my barcode image and my SKU number. So I have used the URL formatter and used this open URL function to just print that particular template in a new window. So this is the action that is written behind this custom action button. So after you update and do the changes, you can even add some stylings to it, like you can do some padding. I'm just doing some padding, or you can just add an icon. So according to your choice, you can make use of this to happen, or you can same like the tab, you can do some changes over the normal or the hover mode, whatever color you wanted it to take place. Now let me show you how it works in the live mode. Every time we have to save it. Now I have saved it. I'm just going to the live mode. Yeah, now we can get to see the tab we have added behind this section. So the product details and the SKU number, you can get to see the barcode and the SKU number of this particular product which I have added latestly. So now when I click on the print barcode, it prints that record template which contains the barcode and the SKU number. This is a very simple task. I'm just using the URL formatter to perform this action. So now we have added a tab. Let's try to add some more things, like let's try to add the subform. If you remember it, in my product information, I have a specification as an existing subform which I have used to specify the features for a particular product. So I'm just going to rename this tab as specifications. Specifications. So for inside this particular tab, I'm just trying to add a subform. Either you can add the subform from the form fields, or at the bottom you have something called related blocks, right? In that you can get to, if you are using an existing subform, you can get to see the subforms related informations. You can just simply drag and drop it over here. After dragging and dropping it, you can do the changes you wanted it to be. So if you're trying to add a subform, if you notice that keenly on the top, let me zoom it out, reduce it a bit. Yeah, on the top you can get to see, like if you wanted this to be in a table format, or you can change it as in summary format, or there are some templates, you can make use of them, or you can customize your own template how your subform fields needs to be displayed in your particular uh, data view report. For now, I'm making use of the summary. When you click on it, you can get to see the specification styling as well. Apart from the styling, you have the property information as well. If you want to display the title or hide the title, you can perform that. You can change the block title name as well, and you can choose the display fields. If you don't want the description to be displayed, you can delete them, or if you want to add some other fields you have in your related block, you can add it from here. Also, we have the filter options. You can filter and display only the particular field just by adding a filter to, just by adding a criteria to it. So you can perform that as well. Not only for this subform, whenever I choose a particular field that I have dragged and dropped, I can change the properties of that field. For example, I can change the display name, that is the label name, and I can add a condition. For example, let's say that if this product is available in my stock, that product should take a different color. So let's say, like I can just customize it to my choice. Like I'm just making it to be green, by adding an status, like the reorder status equals to some status. So if the reorder status is okay, this will be in green color. Emails in, this will be in green color. If the status is completed, you can specify them in a different color. So according to the status, you can change the color of this particular product as well. Okay, let me try to give a green color. So let's say, like if my status is equals to completed, I'm going to display this product color in green. Okay, so you can specify the status as well, like you do in the normal report. So this is how we can add a subform to it. Let's see how the subform looks. I'm just saving it out. Now I'm just going back into the live mode of my products. So whenever I choose a product, I can get to see product details, SKU number, and the specifications. You can get to see the subform that is displayed in the summary view. So not only this, you can also try to add the reordering level. Let's try to add a reorder level. Like as I said before, when the reorder level is reached, I'm going to send the notification to my particular vendor. I've added only one vendor for now. Notification to the particular vendor. That vendor will get an email. From there they can just refill my order. Okay, so I'm just going to perform that action inside a tab, and I'm going to name the tab as reorder. Okay, so inside that I'm going to add few fields like my stock available, and I'm going to add my reorder level, and I'm going to add my reorder status. Okay, so after that you can also as I said before, I'm just going to add a custom action button called as reorder. On click of this button, it opens my reorder form. So I can just fill my necessary details. On click submit of this button, a email notification will be sent to my vendor to reorder it. So I'm just going to add this custom action for now. So I can just do the styling as well. For this, let me give the padding alone. I've just added the button over here. So now on click of this button, you can get to see what I did, or you can edit the button and you can edit the workflow and get to see that I'm just using again the open URL function to open a form named as reorder, inside which I'm going to fill the details and send the mail to my vendor. Okay, so let's see how it will look in the live mode. Yeah. On click of this button, I can get to see the reorder tab. On click of this reorder button, a pop-up will get opened, in which I'm filling my vendor information, product information, and the quantity needed. On submit of this button, the notification will be sent to this particular email ID. For this particular email, this is a dummy email for which I have already given the portal permission for this particular product form. So how I gave the portal permission is, let me show you. In the settings of my application, I have something called as portal user in permissions. So in that, I've given a permission named as vendor, and I gave this all products reports as view to that particular vendor, so that the vendor can see the detailed view of the report as well in its form. Now let me submit this. Okay, so this is the vendor I was talking about. You will get a notification. Yeah, you got a notification. On click of this, you have to reorder the particular stock. It will take him to the portal that I have already given for this particular vendor. So now you can get to see the products that we have purchased from that vendor. You can also get the notification that we sent. So on click of this, you can get to see the detailed view of the report that we are trying to build now as well. Okay, so this is how it works. Let me zoom out it. Yeah. So now we have seen how the custom action button works. Now let's try to add a blueprint stage and check how it can be added in this Canvas designer. So for your notice, I have added a blueprint named as reorder. So whenever the email notification is sent to that particular vendor, the vendor will either fill the reorder, or he can reject the reorder using this blueprint option. So I've added a blueprint transition. Let me change this as refill. Okay, so I've added a blueprint, like when he can refill it, he can refill it. It will get stored for us, or he can reject if he doesn't have the product. So now let's try to add this blueprint and show how it works in the Canvas layout. So in the custom functionalities, you can get to add the blueprint transition buttons, right? Under the data module, you can just drag and drop the blueprint stages on the tab that I'm going to use. You can do some styling to it, like you can change the blueprint titles color, stage name color, separator, if you're then separators color, blueprint background color, stage button color. Let me go with black and background color. Let's give the background color as black and the text color as white. Okay, so this is how the blueprint stage transition buttons will be visualized for that particular vendor. So if you notice that in this blueprint stage, so I'm just asking only the vendor to either refill the product or reject the product. No one can see the blueprint apart from the permission that I've given for the vendor. So now let's save this. Okay, so now what I will do is I'll do a small change to my form. I'm changing the status as email sent. Okay, so now if I go and see the product information, so in the reorder level, so you can get to see that I have to do some refill. Like I can either refill it or I can reject it. I can play on the styling of your choice, like in the hover or in the normal mode, you can do it. Now, let's say that this particular product has been refilled by the vendor. So now, after the refill is done, the stock levels will get increased. So this is a small thing that you can perform on this, and you can get to see the change of the color as well for this particular product. As I said before, when the product reorder status is completed, the product will in the detail view, the product color will get changed as green. So this is working fine. So now, apart from this, you can try to add some related blocks as well. For example, let's say like I wanted the vendor details to be visualized. I can add the vendor details as well over here. Yeah. As same like we added the subform, it as summary view or some templates, or you can customize the own template of your choice. Or let me go to the summary view itself. And if you go to the properties, you can hide and show the block title. You can delete and showcase what are the fields you wanted to be visualized. So everything can be performed over here. Also, when you click on the overall section, you can try to add the shadow or background color of your choice. Let me just give a shadow alone for this section, and let's try to give a radius and match my first section. I'm just giving the radius. You can just drag and drop it, or either you can just give a number and change the radius. So also I'm just trying to give some styling for this tab as well. I'm just trying to add a shadow again with my theme color. So whenever I change the theme, automatically the shadow color also will get changed. And I'm giving the radius as well a bit so that it matches my styling. And I'm not doing anything, I'm just clicking on the section. Automatically, according to the section tab container, right, according to that the styling will get changed. Whenever I do the changes in the styling, the particular tab section will get the changes. So now I'm just saving it. Yeah, so when I see in the live mode, I can get to see all the changes which has been made. Also, apart from that, if you want your user to give some comments for this particular record, that is also available in the data module under the custom functionalities. You can get to see something called as record comment. When you add it to your detail layout, the stakeholders, whoever you wanted to give the comments, according to the permissions, it can be given. So for here, I'm just asking only the users to add the record comments. Yeah. So when you click on the record comment, according to that, the design layouts will get changed. You can change for the total count a different color, for the link a different color. You can play on the stylings when you automatically click on this. Let me click on the section, and as usual, let me try to give some shadow to it so that it fits my screen. And I'm giving the radius as well a bit 3 or 4. Yeah, so now it fits my section. So now I have just played with my detail view. Also, if you want to change the order of this tab, just drag and drop it and change the order of the tab as well. So now the detail view is ready. I'm just saving it out. So when you go over here, when you click on the product, the entire detail view gets visualized. So you can just drag and drop or however you wanted your requirements to be fulfilled. So now I need a section which displays the basic detail of my furniture, and a tab section that displays my detail information about the product details, which contains from where I can print the barcode or I can reorder the level, and I can get to see the vendor information for which I added the related block, or I can give a comment. Order has been. So this is how it works. According to the product that you are choosing, the detail will get fits with the product information. So this is how you perform it. And at last, if you want to download this particular changes that you made in this detail view, you can just click on this export option. Automatically it gets downloaded as a JSON file, and you can make use of the JSON file in any other application that you wanted, that you're sure that this template will get fit for your particular application. So this is how it works, and documentation on how to perform the same thing I showed you will be shared in the chat by my co-trainers. You can just see them and check on your own how it works. So I think so by this I showed you a clear view of how Canvas Layout Designer can be used to build the detailed view of your report. So now I'm going to show you some other places for which I have used this Canvas Builder. This is a simple hotel management application. uh, for in that I've just separated them as a section and showed only the hotel information, the location of the hotel, contact information, room information, and other details I wanted the customers to view it. Also you can set the particular view for view as a permission set in your customer portal, and the people whoever click on the particular room gets to see this detailed view, and which is more appealing. And next is with fleet management, like let's say like logistics management. So whenever a vehicle takes a trip, as a fleet in charge, on click of that particular vehicle information, I can get to see the trip number, the date of the trip, whatever way I wanted the layout to be fit in, I've just used it. So vehicle information, the driver who is in charge of that vehicle, the fleet who is in charge of that vehicle, the trip information, fuel filled in that particular trip, the expense that is made, these things I have added as a tab, and the signature of the fleet and the driver, the comment session for the fleet in charge to give it to the finance team if they are moving it to the finance team. So this is one detailed view that I have built for this logistics management. And next is going to be the employee management, like for example, as an manager of a particular team, I need to, whenever I click on the particular employee's information, I can get to see basic information about an employee, or I can get to see the leave requests that are made by the employees in which is an related block. And this is a custom action button. On click of this button, it opens the leave request form. From there I can either accept or reject it. So this is one example where Canvas Builder can fulfill your business requirements. So by this, I think so I've done with the Canvas Designer. Let me give you some key points to be kept in mind before making use of this Canvas Designer in your application. The first point is going to be like this Canvas Layout Designer is available under the report customization as I showed, only for the web view. For the mobile and the tablet, you can just visualize them when you design it in the web view. And next is like this Canvas Layout Designer can be used only by like used to develop only by the super admins and the developers. These people can design this custom layout using this Canvas Designer. The users, the portal users, everyone can make use of the designs made by these three stakeholders. And next is going to be, as I showed you in the pre-designed templates, when you just use that predefined templates, like you can get to see the form fields getting automatically matched with the fields that you have in your application. Also the important text like phone number, email address that you are highlighted will get the application's theme color as I showed in the demonstration. Please keep in mind before using your predefined templates. And next is like detail view is not applicable for the spreadsheet report, this Canvas Layout Designer is also not applicable for this spreadsheet report type. And then we have as I showed you, this Canvas design that you're building is not auto saved. Every time you have to save it to do whenever you do the changes to be reflected in your particular live mode. And at last, when you're exporting or importing a particular design as a layout, it should be in the JSON format. So these are the basic things to be kept in mind before making use of this Canvas Layout Designer in your application. So by this, I came to the end of the session. If you have any questions, post it in the question tab. For the upcoming session, we have planned to showcase you some deluge and the custom function task. Like in that flow, we'll be talking about utilities and blueprint deluge tasks, map function along with XML and the JSON, and we'll be discussing about cloud functions in the upcoming Create a Tech Connect series. And the registration link for the upcoming session is also displayed on the screen. So one is going to be the learning table series. Next month we are going to talk about Zoho Creator for agriculture in the learning table series, which is going to be held on 7th September at 11 a.m. So this learning table series is also a month on month session, which is occurs at first Thursday of every month. The registration link is there in the QR code. You can scan and register for that session. There we'll be discussing about an industrial use case. And next we have the Creator Tech Connect series, where we discuss about the deluge concepts and cloud functions in Zoho Creator, which is going to be held on 14th of September. You can register using this QR code, which is displayed on my screen as well. Also, this is a recurring session. Once you registered, you don't have to register it again. You will get notified automatically every month. Also, the link for the same will be shared in the chat by my co-trainers. You can make use of the link to register for these two sessions. And if you have any questions, please post it in the question tab. It will be answered by my co-trainers. And post the session if you have any questions. Please contact us using training@zohocreator.com.